أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Adá ọpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run Ọba àti tọrọ àti ìgẹ̀ fún Ànábì wa Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum àfà.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ẹ má bínú àfà. Mo ní ẹni tí ò gbọ́ yóò bá nu wa. Wíwà pé kí n sọ fún yín. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can use English, right?
Yes. English, please.
Okay. That's fine. So we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has made our life to witness today's seminar. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to count it as part of our good deeds. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all our supplication in this Ramadan and to spare our life to the end of it and beyond. Amen. So this session is focused on the seminar about Umrah organized by Hamyus Hajj and Umrah services in the UK. Now, in this session, we have objectives. 1, general introduction about Umrah. 2, major steps of Umrah. 3, do and don'ts during the state of Ihram. First of all, I would like to highlight the major difference between Hajj and Umrah. Umrah is a minor Hajj because it is not obligatory. At the same time, Umrah is not obligatory, but it pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cultivate the habit of doing Umrah as much as you can, as much as possible. Because the significance of Umrah is to erase your previous sin. For example, your last Umrah was last year, December, or last year, January, and we are now in April of another year. Allah will use it to erase all your shortcomings since then till now. And Prophet Muhammad SAW loves to perform Umrah often and often, time to time, but Allah does not permit him to do so. He was able to perform just only for Umrah during his lifetime. And he was able to perform Hajj once in his lifetime. So it's part of the special grace of Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us chance to have opportunity to perform Umrah as many times as we can. Major difference. That is the major difference between the Umrah and Hajj. And one of the difference between Umrah and Hajj is that Umrah is shorter and simpler compared to Hajj. And at the same time, you can perform Umrah at any time, the January, in the February, March, April, May, December, the end of the year. But Hajj, it has its own month, and you cannot perform Hajj outside the month of Hajj. Outside the month of Hajj. So just like Salat, you cannot perform Salat outside its time. Because one of the major conditions of Salat is that the time you must perform Salat at its time. You cannot perform Salat before the time. If the time of Zuhr is at 2 p.m. and you perform it at 1:58 p.m., Allah will not accept it because the time is not, you did not perform it at its time. Either you perform it at its time or after its time, no problem, but you cannot perform it before its time. The same thing happened to Hajj. So we know the month of Hajj is Dhul-Hijjah. So you cannot perform Hajj outside the Dhul-Hijjah. So but Umrah, you can perform it at any time. So the essential steps of Umrah. Number 1, enter to the state of Ihram, state of purity and devotion, by washing your body and donning Ihram garment. So, number 1 step is to enter to the state of Ihram, and entering into the state of Ihram has 2 meanings. Number 1 is to wash your body with the niyyah of performing Umrah. And how do you do that? The way you used to do for maybe when you finish your period, the way you used to bath is the same way, or when someone is just accept Islam, the way they used to bath, or the way you used to purify yourself for Haida. So these are the way. These are the same way you have to perform bath for the ihram, and the same way we used to bath for Yawm al-Jum'ah, Friday prayer, because it's part of the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad that every Jum'ah you should have this bath. So it's going to be the same thing. It's not only to use to just wash your body, no, it's to make it in that way. So with the niyyah is the thing that will make it different from other purification that you used to do. So have it in your intention that you are performing this bath in order to perform Umrah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you perform the same bath for another thing, it's niyyah that will distinguish the types of the bath you are taking. Now, that is the first meaning for the ihram. Part of the first meaning is to wear the ihram garment, and this applies to men exclusively, not for women. You know, we have 2 pieces of clothes that we used to put in, so it applies to male only. Women will use their normal clothes. Just make sure that the clothes is decent and covers every part of your body. That is the first meaning of ihram. The second meaning of ihram is to recite talbiyah in the miqat station. That is to declare your intention to make the pilgrimage, lesser pilgrimage. So how do we declare our intention at miqat? Okay, where is miqat? Where is miqat? So miqat is our way to Mecca. Your way to Mecca. So when you arrive Medina in the next day, or after like 2-3 days, you head to Mecca. Maybe 3 kilometers to Medina, you come across Mecca, and the car and buses or your transportation have to stop in this Mecca to make your intention. How do you make your intention? Because this is compulsory. So how do you make your intention?
I'm hearing what they are saying, but they can't hear me.
No, today's mic is we're gonna buy takeaway. That's what we plan for. We still have a chicken there. And then we're gonna
Can you hear me?
eat the Chinese. We still we can have some Chinese. And also like yes, that's yes food.
Can everyone hear?
And the Chinese shop is open.
Yeah, what time did you open today?
No, but if the
Hello?
Chinese shop is open,
Hello, salam alaikum.
They close 5 o'clock. They open 5 o'clock.
today.
I can
On
hear you.
Sunday. Open
Can I
bank holiday
proceed?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, don't forget.
Please, can someone
Walaikum salam.
add something, please?
Can you please mute your mic?
Let's see if we can wait till 5 o'clock. I don't know what time you want us to eat, but I'm thinking it's bank holiday. Check order 1.
Hello? I hope everyone can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Now, I think
Oh God. Kí ló dé tí ìyá àbèjì ń ṣe báyìí náà? Mo ti jáde níbi ilé. Ẹ bá mi sọ.
okay. I think I can proceed. Now, so I proceed if everyone can hear me. So I'm talking of miqat. The second meaning of ihram is to recite the talbiyah in the miqat station, That is to declare your intention to make the pilgrimage, either Umrah or Hajj. So if you are declaring your intention for Umrah, it's different from when you declare your intention for the Hajj. But here we are talking of Umrah. When it is time for Hajj, we have section for that as well, inshallah. So the second meaning of the second meaning of ihram is to recite the talbiyah. What is talbiyah? I will tell you the meaning of talbiyah. Then I'm just trying to explain the miqat. The miqat station is where you have to declare your intention for Allah that you are going to perform Umrah for the sake of Allah. It's very important. If you forget it at this station and you reach Mecca, you have to come back and declare your intention. So this step is very strict. There are some other steps that are not really strict, but this the first step is very strict. You have to make your intention at the miqat. If you forget to make it and you reach Mecca, you need to come back to the respective miqat, to the nearest miqat to you and declare your intention. So that is miqat station. So it's like 5 kilometers to Medina. Now, at Talbiyah, I said you have to recite Talbiyah. What is Talbiyah? Talbiyah is to say Labbaika Umrah. As you can see on the screen, I put it in transliteration. You say Labbaika Umrah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. That is how to declare your intention for Umrah. Once again, you have to say Labbaika Umrah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. That is how to declare your intention. Once again, the first step of Umrah is to enter into the state of Ihram. How do we enter into the state of Ihram? Entering to the state of Ihram has 2 minutes. Number one is to wash your body, is to have your ritual bath and wear the red garment, which this applies to men. Women will use their normal clothes. Just be sure that it covers every part of your body. That is number one. Number two is to recite this. Labbaika umrata, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. That's number one. So after that, you continue your trip to Mecca. You see, either you are in the train or you are using a bus or other means of transportation. Just make sure that you engage yourself in zikr. What is zikr? Remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can continue saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak, until you reach Mecca. Or you have other zikr, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, subhanallah walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. You can engage yourself in any zikr, any way you know that you can, any words you know that you can be saying to remember Allah. So you can say any words. So just make sure that you avoid talking, gisting, backbiting, or whatever. So you have to sacrifice this time for your creator. Since you declare your intention, it means everything that you'll be doing from that state until you complete your Umrah is going to be solely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything outside that, anything that you do that is not attached to a reward, avoid it. If you talk, you gist with your friend, it attached to no reward. You have no reward. If care is not taken, you may even commit sin. Maybe you talk about someone behind him or her, so it's going to be counted as backbiting, and your Umrah reward will be reduced. Then what do you want to derive from there? You have to be very careful when you are in the state of ihram. Just avoid anything that is not necessary. Engage yourself in zikr, remembrance of Allah. If you say this zikr, you say this word la ilaha illallah subhanallah until you get tired, just relax, or maybe you can even sleep. It's much better than engaging oneself in something else. So that is when you are on your way to Mecca. By reaching the Mecca and you are seeing this Kaaba, you have to stop whatever dhikr that you have been saying. If it is labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika. By reaching here, reaching the Kaaba and seeing this house, stop it. Then enter the Kaaba with your right foot by saying Allahumma ftahli abwaba rahmatik. Allahumma iftahli abwaba rahmatik. Oh Allah, please open the doors of your mercy for me. So that is the meaning. And that is the dua that Prophet Muhammad recommends for us to say whenever you want to enter any masjid, especially this Kaaba, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, that is what you have to say. By reaching here, you have to start your tawaf. Circling the Kaaba 7 times. You start your tawaf. That is the second step. Reaching the Kaaba and start your tawaf. Circling the Kaaba 7 times. So you have to do your tawaf 7 times. And if you are not sure, maybe when you reach number 5 and you are not sure is it number 5 or number 4, Prophet Muhammad SAW recommends to us that you have to pick the list. You are doubting of is it 5 or 4. Pick the list. When you pick the list and at the end it increases with 1 circle, then Allah will use it to erase your sin. So that is better than when you supposed to have 7 and at the end you have 6. So that means your Umrah is not completed. So pick the list that comes to your mind. You doubt of 7 or 6, you round up or you make 1 extra. So pick the list. That is the recommendation of Prophet Muhammad, and which is better. If it increases with 1 or 2, Allah will use it to bless you more, erase your previous sin. If it is accurate, then the job is done. Here, there are some explanations that I have to make here. And it's going to be in form of question. If your ablution spoil in the process of tawaf, what do you do? So in this case, you stop. You cannot continue because the tawaf is the same thing as salat. It's the same thing like you are performing salat. If you are performing salat al-fajr, salat al-zuhr, salat al-maghrib, and your ablution spoiled in the process, then you have to stop the salat. You cannot continue with salat. So the same thing here. But the difference is when you do another ablution, you renew your ablution, and you go back to salat, you have to start afresh. You cannot continue from where you stop. But for the tawaf, maybe you already make 4, and your ablution gets spoiled, then you continue. When you, after you renew your ablution, just continue from where you stop. Maybe you stop at 5. You've completed your 5 before you lost your ablution. Then just continue from 6 and finish. That is the difference. Another difference between the tawaf and salat is that you can talk during the tawaf. And when we are talking of talking in the tawaf, it doesn't mean that you should engage yourself in any nonsense talk, unnecessary talk. You are gisting with your colleague or something else. No. The kind of talk we mean here is that you pray, you make dua, you supplicate to Allah as much as you can. Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, bless me, bless my children, give us good health, wealth. You can say anything in any language you want. You can say it in English, you can say it in Arabic, you can say it in Yoruba language, you can say it in any. So this kind of opportunity, we don't have this kind of opportunity when you perform salat. When you are on salat, you cannot be saying anything. Oh Allah, bless me, give me good health, save me from any unpleasant possibilities, and so on. You cannot say it in salat. Even if the imam make mistake, you cannot say, oh imam, you make mistake. No, you have to say subhanallah. When you say subhanallah, the imam should know that you're already gone wrong. So this opportunity, we don't have it in salat. That is the difference between tawaf and salat. You can talk, or maybe you are tasty in the process, and you have your friend with you. So, my friend, please, do you have water there? I'm very tasty. Can you help me with water? Then it's a kind of talk, but that won't be considered as unnecessary talk, and so on. So that is the difference between tawaf and salat. And also, in addition to that, after you finish your umrah, next day you came to Kaaba to supplicate to Allah. It is quite normal for you to make another tawaf to have opportunity to make more dua. So, there's no restriction to that. The only thing is that you can just only do your tawaf. You don't need to proceed to other step, because we are still in the second step. After the making intention, entering the state of ihram, the second step, which is tawaf. And for the first timer, how do we do our tawaf? So we can see in this video, this small case, the way they are practicing the tawaf. Just watch it in a few minutes. You just have idea. So this is just it. So that is the way you circle the house of Allah 7 times. So the third, perform sa'i. What is sa'i? Walking 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa beside the Kaaba. Walking 7 times between the hill of Safa and Marwa beside the Kaaba 7 times. So you can see in the picture. So this is Safa and Marwa. You start from Safa, end in Marwa. Number 1, from Marwa to Safa. Number 2, from Safa again to Marwa. Number 3, from Marwa to Safa. Number 4, again from Safa to Marwa. Number 5, from Marwa to Safa. Number 6. Then you end up in from Safa to Marwa. So you stop at Marwa, making 7. Some people used to make this mistake. They will go to Safa and Marwa 1, Safa and Marwa together 2. So this is unnecessary stress. So it is the way it described now. So Safa to Marwa 1, Marwa to Safa 2, and so on, and you head up in Marwa. So, but when we reach in the process between the Safa and Marwa, there is a special place, which I think there is indication there. When you look up, you see the green sign on top, or green light, maybe in the middle of Safa and Marwa. So this is for men to run a little bit, to move more faster in this from the beginning of that green sign to the end of that green sign. But it is meant for men only, not for women. So any additional stress doesn't mean for the women, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to give them maximum conveniences in whatever ibadah they does. So that is the way, and I would like to, okay, by reaching the, when we start, okay, what dua you have to say in this process in Safa and Marwa? You have to say this dua. This is the dua to say. We find this dua in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 158. Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillah. Faman hajjal bayta aw i'tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawwafa bihima. وَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَاكِرٌ عَلِيمٌ. I put it here in transliteration. Inna Safa wal Marwata min sha'airillah. Faman hajjal bayta aw i'tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawwafa bihima. وَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَاكِرٌ عَلِيمٌ. So this is transliteration. So this is the dua we make in the Safa, in the matter of Safa before we start. Then when you reach Marwa, before you start Marwa to Safa, you have to say it, and so on until you finish. So we watch this clip to have a little idea, overview of the Safa and Marwa.
السعي بين الصفا والمروة 7 أشواط، حيث الذهاب من جبل الصفا إلى جبل المروة شوط، والرجوع من المروة إلى الصفا شوط ثان، وهكذا. لا بد من أن يبدأ المعتمر السعي من جبل الصفا، كما لا بد عليه أن يسعى في المكان المتعارف، السعي في السرداب والدور الأرضي. أما السعي في الطابق العلوي فهو محل خلاف. عند هذا الموقع يستحب للرجال فقط الهرولة. لا تشترط الطهارة من الحدث أثناء السعي. نعم، يستحب للإنسان أن يكون في جميع أوقاته على طهارة.
Now, so that is how you do it. And another question before you here is that we said when you are doing tawaf and your wudu gets spoiled, will you in the tawaf you have to renew your wudu, but in Safa when you are done with tawaf, so when you lose your wudu in Safa wal Marwa, as we just show now, so you don't need to renew your wudu. You don't need to renew your wudu, so you can just continue. So it is only during the tawaf that you are required to have ablution, as if you are in salat. You mustn't in wudu. Actually, it's highly recommended to be in the state of wudu during the entire process, but it's not a must. So that is number 3. Number 4 step, because Umrah just has 4 steps. Number 4, the first step is at the end of Umrah, men exit from Ihram by shaving their head or taksir. So you have to shave your hair for the men. You have 2 ways to do that. Either you just take little, or you barb. Yeah, let me say you barb your hair, or you shave it like this. So that means if you choose to barb your hair with clipper, that means there will be there will be more hair, little hair on your head. But when you shave like this, that means you are going to remove everything. So the 2 are allowed. That is for men. But for the women, they exit their Umrah by cutting off a short lock of hair. As you can see in this picture, look at this. This is how you do it. Just remove little bits from your hair. Don't remove a large portion from your hair, because the hair is considered as part of the beauty of women. So just take little bits, not like this. You now cut half of your hair, you remove everything. No, that's for men. For women, just to remove little from your hair. Now, that is the steps of Umrah before I proceed to other process. Number 1, Umrah has 4 steps. 1 is to enter into the state of Ihram, which has 2 meaning. Have your ritual bath and use the Ihram garment, which is for men, and for women, they use their normal clothes, making sure that it covers all parts of your body. The second meaning of Ihram is to recite Talbiyah, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika lak labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. So that is the meaning of entering into the state of Ihram. Number 2, is tawaf. When you reach Mecca, you tawaf, you circle the Kaaba 7 times, as we just explained now. Number 3, after that, before you move to I forgot to mention something. After your tawaf, before going for sa'i, you have to perform 2 rakah in front of the Kaaba. You perform 2 rakah, and it's highly recommended to perform it in a place that is very close to Maqam Ibrahim. Or if you don't have chance to do that, just do it anywhere. Just make sure that you do it before you move to, or you proceed to where you perform your Safa and Marwa. So you have 2 rakah, pray 2 rakah. In the first rakah, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Kafirun. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim to the end. Then Surah Al-Kafirun, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, la a'budu ma ta'budun. Then the second rakah, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha and also Surah Al-Ikhlas. Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad. But if you don't know these 2 surah, just recite any surah you know after Surah Al-Fatiha. I forgot to mention it. So that is after the tawaf, before proceeding to the Safa and Marwa. So that is the second step. The third step is Safa wal Marwa. Fourth step at the last is to cut your hair. You exit your Umrah by cutting your hair. For men, you have ways to do that. For women, just to remove a little bit. Now, another question before you now is, what of if your maybe you already make your intention in the Miqat, and on your way to Mecca, you get your period. you see your period before reaching Mecca, what do? Do you have to continue with the process like others, or you have to wait? So in this case, you are no more pure. It's like out of 4 steps, you're already done with the first step with purity. Then, by reaching Mecca, proceed to your hotel, relax, and wait for your period to finish. Then, upon finishing your period, then you proceed to the 3rd step. You bath, you take your ritual bath, then proceed to the 2nd step, which is tawaf. You don't need to go back to Mekot in Medina and then come back to Mecca as if you are just coming from your country. No. So just out of 4 steps, you are done with 1. The message come, then wait in your hotel. You can be making supplication as much as you can. Then when you are done with your period, proceed to the 3rd step and finish everything. Because it's a thing that you can just finish within 1 day. You can finish your Umrah within 1 day. If your cycle takes you 7 days, doesn't matter. 5 days, 4 days, just wait, finish, then you proceed from where you stopped. So this is one of the major concern of some women, because it seems to happen. Now, that is all about the major process of Umrah. Now, I would like to share little information, necessary information about Medina. In Medina, you have a lot of ziyarat. You have to visit most of the significant places, such as the Masjid Nabawi, Masjid Quba, Battle of Uhud, and so on. But let me start from the Masjid Nabawi. When you reach Masjid Nabawi, your responsibility is to perform, when you enter the masjid, just perform 2 rakah. When you perform these 2 rakah, will serve as the Tahiyyat al-Masjid, the 2 rakah that we are recommended to, it's recommended by Prophet Muhammad that whenever you enter masjid, perform 2 rakah to greet the Lord or the God of the mosque. So you have to perform 2 rakah. And one of the things you have to do in the Masjid Nabawi for men is to visit the grave of Prophet Muhammad. And for women is to visit Rawdah. I'm going to talk about the Rawdah. But let me talk about the Masjid Nabawi, the Prophet Mosque generally. So the reward of your 2 rakah, of the 2 rakah you perform in the Medina, in the Prophet Mosque, you have 1,000 reward. Any salat you perform in the Prophet Mosque have 1,000 reward. If it is compulsory obligation, like salat zuhur, salat asr, the 5 daily prayer, you have a 1,000 reward for each. If you perform extra nawafil, sunnah, you have a 1,000 reward. That means you should manage to perform as much as you can. Perform a lot of nawafil before you leave Medina. So another thing that is very strange in Medina, at the same time in Mecca as well, in the 2 mosques, is that after each salat, they used to perform salat janaza. I think everyone knows the meaning of salat janaza. Salat janaza is the one they pray to the dead people after the salat. Now, the way they do it in the Medina and Mecca is quite different from the way they used to do it in any country. They used to do it in Mecca and Medina at the end of every salat. After salat Fajr, morning prayer, they do salat janaza, because they had many people that passed away between Salat Isha to Salat to Subuh, Salat to Fajr. And they used to perform Salat Janaza for those that are passed away between Salat Fajr and Salat Zuhur. So between Salat Zuhur and Asri, those that passed away at that time, they perform Salat Janaza at the end of or after Salat Asr. And those that are passed away between Salat Asr and Maghrib, they perform Salat Janaza to them after Salat Maghrib. So and so on. That means they will be performing Salat Janaza after every Salat. Many people used to confuse. They say Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, they already finished Salat. After a few seconds, they had Allahu Akbar. You'll be surprised at which Salat again. I think we had Imam say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What Salat is that again? And you now start up and continue praying Salat, then you don't know what you are doing. So this is Salat Janaza. It is not ordinary Salat. So and participating in Salat Janaza has a lot of reward. It's part of your responsibility towards your fellow Muslim that passed away, because you also pass away one day, and people will do this for you. Now, what do you have to do, or what do you have to say when they perform Salat Janaza? In the first, it has 4 rak'ah, it has 4 takbirat. It's not, we don't call it rak'ah, because you are not going to do ruku, you are not going to prostrate, you are not going to, so it is just like takbirat. Then we say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They do it 4 times. The first one, they recite Surah Al-Fatiha, and everyone knows Surah Al-Fatiha. When they say Allahu Akbar, so you have to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Imam will do it first, and you do it, you follow Imam. When Imam say Allahu Akbar, you have to say Allahu Akbar, then recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Then, that is the first thing. The second thing, the second takbir Allahu Akbar, is to say salawat. What is salawat? You have to you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. That is salat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that He himself and the angel, they used to send this salat for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and whoever does it, Allah will repeat it back to him 10 times. So the second takbir, Allahu Akbar, when they pray Salat Janaza, is to recite salawat, which is Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, as I just mentioned now. The third one, you have to pray to the dead. So how do you say it? Allahumma gfirlahu warhamhu wa'af anhu wa tajawaz an sayyi'atihi. Allahumma gfirlahu warhamhu wa'af anhu wa tajawaz an sayyi'atihi. So this is what you have to say. And perhaps maybe after the before Thursday, I think you are traveling on Thursday, maybe before then I can comprise all this dua and send it to Elijah to share with you. So that is the dua to say for the third takbir. Then the last one, you have to pray to entire Muslim, to everyone. So you pray generally, Allahumma gfir lana jami'ahu, Allah, forgive our sins. The kind of dua you make there is general, including you. So these are the things we say when they pray Salat Janaza. So I hope this one is also clear. So now, one of the important place to touch in Medina is Quba. I think you have class. You can go. So one of the place to visit in Medina is is Masjid Quba. Masjid Quba is the first masjid in Islam. It's the first masjid in the history of Islam. So our Prophet Muhammad SAW loves this mosque so much, to the extent that every Saturday during the life of Prophet Muhammad SAW in Medina, he used to visit this mosque every week, every Saturday. Sometimes he may not have means of transportation. So Prophet Muhammad will not give up. We will need to trek to this Masjid Quba. You can see how much important this mosque is. So in this case, Prophet Muhammad highly recommended for us to always visit this mosque whenever you have opportunity to visit Medina. The reward of this mosque is that whenever you do, let me say the expectation in this mosque, the expectation in regards to this mosque is that perform wudu, ablution from your residence, then proceed to Masjid Quba and perform 2 rakah. When you do that, then Allah will give you huge reward as if you perform Umrah. You have the same reward for Umrah. You have the same reward for having opportunity or for being performed 2 rakah in this great mosque, which is Masjid Quba. So the reward is as if you perform Umrah. The Umrah that you are going to perform in Mecca that you came to Saudi Arabia because for its purpose, you have the same reward. That means if you perform only 1 Umrah in Mecca before you go back to your country, and you also go to Masjid Quba, you perform ablution from residence and you perform 2 rakah there, it's like you do 2 Umrah at the same time. Because the reward of Masjid Quba when you perform 2 rakah there is like you perform Umrah. The same reward that Allah will give you when you perform Umrah is the same reward that Allah will give you when you perform 2 rakah in this great Masjid Quba. That is why Prophet Muhammad used to go there every week, every Saturday during his lifetime to perform 2 rakah in this mosque and come back to his mosque, which is a Masjid Nabawi Prophet mosque. So that is the reward of performing salat in Masjid Quba. So with condition, perform wudu from your residence. That is all about Quba. Another important place to touch in Medina is the ground of Uhud, where the Battle of Uhud was performed. This is one of the most important place to touch in Medina. It is not compulsory, but it is very necessary because you came to Mecca and Medina to worship Allah, to gain reward. So you should not underrate any reward. So you should manage to fulfill everything. Now, what is the expectation here? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to visit this place. This is the mountain of Uhud. This is the victims of Uhud. This is where they were buried. So, as you see people stand here, when you reach the place, you stand here, you face this branch, you face it, and you have to say this dua. There's dua to say. What is that dua? You have to say, Assalamu alaikum, ahla diyar, min al-mu'minin wal-muslimin, wa inna insha Allahu bikum lahikun. As'alullaha lana wa lakum al-afiyah. So you may not grab it quickly now, but you have someone to lead you when you are to visit all these places, and the ustaz will be saying it that you repeat it after him. Don't worry about that. So this is the place. You face it and you say that to her. So the ustaz will be saying it and you say it after him. So this is the mountain of Uhud. This is the way the battle was come up, and look at the situation there. So this is the dua to say. So that is all about Uhud. Now, a Rawdah. I said I'm going to talk about Rawdah specifically. So this is Rawdah. What is Rawdah? Prophet Muhammad said, "Ma bayna bayti wa minbari rawdatun min riyadil jannah." In between my house and wa minbari and my what is it called? My prayer ground. My member means where the place where Imam used to stay for Salat. So that is member, or where Imams used to make khutbah in the Friday prayer. So that is member. The Prophet Muhammad now said, "Ma bayna bayti wa minbari," between my house and my member, rawdatun min riyadil jannah. There is rawdah. There is a special place. And this special place is located in the Jannah. It's part of it that is in this mosque. So the Prophet ﷺ narrates to us that in Jannah, if you know the peak of Jannah is Firdaus. And that Firdaus there is that Rawdah. It's a special place for Prophet ﷺ. And Prophet ﷺ now declared that part of that place, the place in that Jannah in the paradise, there is in my Allah created a small space in my own masjid to serve as that Rawdah, the one in Jannah. So this is a special place, which everyone needs to find every possible way to visit. And there is room for that. When you reach, when you are there, they will make arrangements for men, time for men to visit it, to go to this, to enter this Rawdah, and there is a particular time, so it's time for women also to go to this Rawdah. So when you reach this Rawdah, all you have to do is to perform 2 rakah, and when you perform 2 rakah, make as many dua as possible as you can, because undoubtedly this is a special place. The same place is also found in the Jannah. So, and for the dunya, the portion of this place in dunya is the one that Allah puts in this masjid, in this place. So you make as much dua as possible, and undoubtedly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept all supplications you make here. So that is the importance of Rawdah. Pray 2 rakah, then supplicate to Allah as much as you can. Allah will accept it. So that is all about Rawdah. And please section for the question and answer. So you have the floor. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from us as an act of ibadah. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Alaja is still alive?
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to ask a question. When are we going to be in our Umrah white clothes? When are we going to wear it?
Okay. You are going to wear it in Medina. When you know you are going to when you are going now on Thursday, you are going to you are going to Medina.
Okay.
So when you arrive Medina, you settle down maybe the next day or after 3 days.
Am I be excited about question?
Now.
Yeah, I think let's say we are leaving on 17th. You know, we are en route to Mecca from Medina on the 17th of April, inshallah.
Okay.
So then we have to get ready immediately after Fajr on Monday. Yes, that's where you can wear your Ram coat, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you. Assalam.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Walaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Yeah, before I join you, I missed the intention that we will make before we start. You know, we are already making starting intention. Since you have started that we are come to Umrah. But I didn't hear that one proper from you.
Sorry, can you come again? I'm sorry.
I said before I join you people, you are already make that you make intention.
Yes.
Yeah, Nia.
Yeah. So now you make your intention for Umrah when you reach Mikot, and this Mikot is on your when you leave. It's like 10 kilometers to Medina. So when you start your trip from Medina going to Mecca to start your to do your Umrah, you are going to come across Mikot, and in the Mikot you make your intention. You say labbaika umrata, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak, labbaik innal hamda wa ni'mata lak wal mulk la sharika lak. At the same time, if you are going by train, when you reach Mikot, they will tell you when you reach Mikot. So in your train, so by hearing the announcement that here is Mikot, make your intention, you have to say the same thing. لبيك عمرة لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. So it is in the Mikot that you make your intention. Is that clear, man?
Yes, thank you.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes. Sorry, I actually put my question in writing there, but I think I'll just say it now. I wanted to find out what is the best state a woman should leave her hair. Should we plait our hair or should we leave it loose like that and just pack it since we're going to cut it?
Okay. Anyways, either of the way is good, but preferably it's good to have it loose so that everything can be accurate when you do it.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Amen. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Please, I've got a question. Is there any way you can help us to put all the drawers together? You compile everything and send it to Elijah so that she can send it back to us in the group.
Okay, inshallah.
Sister Light, all done already. We can check Hamyus and Umrah, guide. Check the guide. I sent 2 first yesterday.
Okay.
So the other one is Hajj and Umrah guide. We have everything in there already. All doers. Check it properly from the head to toe. Please check it from top to bottom. Please check it.
All right then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? Aja Kudrat. Alaja Kudrat.
Salam alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, I want to ask about the Umrah. What is the difference between Umrah and Umrah?
Umrah and Umrah is the same thing, it's the same word. So Umrah, when we pronounce it in Arabic, the Arabic word, when you pronounce it in Arabic, we call it is Umrah because we have letter Ra, we don't have Ra. We pronounce Ra as Ra, Fatha Ra. So calling it Umrah is English translation. Umrah, so they put R-A-H, Umrah, or R-A, Umrah. So when you pronounce it in English, it's Umrah. When you pronounce it in Arabic language, it's Umrah. I hope you get it.
Thank you, sir. Jazakallah khair.
More question?
Assalamualaikum. Yeah, sorry, I've got another question. Are we allowed to wear socks as females?
Sorry?
Can we cover our feet as well?
It is not mandatory, but if you do, it's good. But it's not mandatory because it's women is required to cover all her body. So if you use socks, it's good. But if you do not feel like to do it, no problem. It's not compulsory.
It's because I was trying to clarify. My brother was telling me that my feet is supposed to touch the ground. I'm not supposed to wear anything. So I'm a bit confused in that part.
No. If under normal circumstances, women they have to cover all their body even without apart from Umrah, and exclusively in the Umrah or Hajj or any state of Ihram, you have to cover every part of your body, maybe except your face. So now, putting on socks is good, and if you choose not to do that, it's when you do that, it's like you feel like you want to cover up completely. But if you choose not to do that, it's also normal. But it has nothing to do that like your foot needs to touch the ground. No, not like that. No reference for that. I hope you understand me.
Yeah,
Is that clear?
Jazakallah. Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
because the Umrah and Hajj is a practical something. And Prophet Muhammad did not say it by mouth. He does it and say, do it the way you saw me do. So everything comes with reference from either Allah or his prophet. Anything outside that is rejected. More question, please. No more question. Alaja. Alaja Kafila.
Naam, Assalamu alaikum.
Well, sir, is there another thing to cover?
That's all I think. Yeah, no question.
Okay.
Any question? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I left for 5 minutes. Do you remember to say something regarding menstruation period for ladies?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that.
Okay, then it's fine. Yes, that's okay.
Yes, he did.
All right, then. That's fine. That's all. Please remember to share the video. Some people they couldn't make it, so.
Okay, inshallah, I'm going to share it in the platform as soon as possible, inshallah.
So I can share the video to them so that they can watch it later after.
And we can watch it later again, yes.
Yeah, some people they called me, they said due to some, they can't join the lecture, so I think I have to share with them.
Inshallah, I'm going to share it.
Okay,
all right,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah. Mama ring back first.
Alaikum salam.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Okay.